If you're a woman over 35 and every single morning you try at least 3 different outfits just to find the one that hides your belly, stay with me. I know you think you don't have enough discipline, or maybe there is something wrong with your body, but there is not. It is actually a biological response called the cortisol trap. But today you are going to learn how to flip that switch from fat storing mode to fat releasing mode. There is a way of eating that is proven to cut 14% of visceral fat even if the number on the scale is not moving. And no, it is not keto or carnivore, and you do not need to count calories. I know that's pretty annoying, by the way. It works because actually targets the root cause of what visceral fat builds up in the first place. And that root is cortisol. I'm about to show you exactly what to eat and why this works. Just to give you some context, I grew up with my granny and my mommy on constant diets. So unfortunately, my relationship with food wasn't great because I learned to fear food. At 16, I was tired of the restriction. So I decided to go ahead and eat whatever I wanted, but then I will go and throw up. Yes, I was bulimic. After passing out one day, that was the end of it. But of course, I didn't fix the root cause, so I went back to restriction. Later on, I was diagnosed with insulin resistance, hypothyroidism, a pill here, a pill there, and I was also told that that was my life from that point forward. But I didn't take that as an answer. I became obsessed with understanding my body. Food as fuel, movement that supported my body instead of punish it, and the peace that changed everything. Learning that without nervous system regulation, weight release was impossible. I didn't only release the extra weight and kept it off. Actually, by now, I had helped over 1,000 women do exactly the same. I am Selene, holistic nutritionist and creator of the Confident 40th Method. I am 48 now, and I feel and I look way better than I did in my 20s. Not because I found a magic diet, but because I stopped fighting my body and I started working with it. So let me tell you what visceral fat actually is. Visceral fat is not the one that you can pinch. Visceral fat is actually wrapped around your organs. And the big problem is visceral fat acts like an inflammatory organ. It disrupts your estrogen, kills your energy. It creates that constant food noise that have you overthinking every single bite. And here is the part that most people don't know. You can lose weight, and that doesn't mean that you are releasing visceral fat. You can release visceral fat without the scale actually moving, which means the number in the scale is not important. Now, here is where cortisol comes in. Visceral fat cells have a higher concentration of cortisol receptors than fat anywhere else in your body. So when cortisol is chronically elevated, those cells are being told over and over, store more fat. And no, it is not your body malfunctioning. It is actually your body protecting you from what it perceives as an ongoing threat. We have something called the HPA axis. Think of it as your brain to adrenal connection, kind of like a smoke alarm inside your body. So your inbox is overflowing, you're back to back with meetings, you have your kids, your husband, you're trying to keep up with everything and everyone. Your body sees all that as a threat because your body cannot tell the difference between a stressful meeting, an argument, or you skipping meals to try to lose weight. For your body, stress is stress. And stress raises cortisol, and chronically elevated cortisol give one very simple signal to your body. Let's store fat, especially around the belly area. The question is what your food is doing to your cortisol levels. So this reminds me to Laura. She came to me when she was 49. She was eating what she thought it was healthy. Salads, low calories, skipping meals, but Her belly fat had not moved in years. I remember how frustrated she was because she felt like she had done everything and nothing worked. When we look at her full picture, her cortisol levels were through the roof. She was under eating throughout the day, and under eating is one of the biggest drivers of high cortisol. Her body was living in survival mode, so we changed what she was eating and when. Within 6 weeks, she felt like a completely new woman. She could not believe how much energy she had. She could not believe that she had zero bloating and zero cravings. Within 3 months, her belly was completely gone in a way that years of restriction never did for her. She was so happy. She could not believe it. And she kept on telling me, Selene, I have never eaten this much in my life. So what we did is just bring her cortisol levels to normal levels. And this just signaled her body that it was safe. It was okay to release the extra fat. So let's go deep about this amazing way of eating. Researchers compared 3 different diets to figure out which one was better to release visceral fat. The first one was a standard healthy diet. Lean protein, vegetables, fruit, and visceral fat dropped, but dropped only 4.2%. The second diet was the Mediterranean diet, so olive oil, nuts, fish. Visceral fat dropped 6%. Now, the third one was optimized Mediterranean diet, so kind of like a Mediterranean diet, but in steroids. This one is loaded with polyphenols-rich foods, like berries, green tea, leafy greens, and that group released 14% of visceral fat. Did you hear that? I said 14%. And the reason this works so well is because it goes back to cortisol and your gut. Polyphenols are plant compounds found on berries, leafy greens, green tea, and some nuts. They trigger specific compounds in your gut that signals your body to release the visceral fat. And they do this by reducing inflammation and the cortisol levels that are constantly telling your body store more fat. This is not restriction, love. This is just giving your body what it needs to work properly. So here is exactly how it looks like in practice. The first thing, and the one I want you to start with tomorrow morning, is 30 grams of protein before your coffee. I know you wake up exhausted and you reach for your coffee almost like it's a savior. Your cortisol in the morning peaks. That's normal. But if we drink coffee on an empty stomach, it's literally like pouring gasoline on a burning fire. Now, when you eat protein first, your brain sees amino acids in your bloodstream and it sends a safety signal to your body. Food is here, we are safe, you can release the extra fat. So let me give you the 3 easiest options. 4 to 5 hard-boiled eggs, a full-fat Greek yogurt with berries and nuts. And the third one, and is the easiest one, just the leftover chicken or steak from the night before. The second thing, 2 cups of dark berries daily. So blackberries, blueberries, raspberries. These are some of the most polyphenol-rich foods, and they are doing direct work with your visceral fat and cortisol levels. Third thing, swap 2 cups of coffee for green tea. Green tea boosts your metabolism and increase fat release, especially in your belly. And here is something that most people don't know, but green tea actually stimulates naturally our GLP-1, which is your body's own appetite regulating hormone. The same hormone that is in those injections. You know what I'm talking about. Just in this case, we are just stimulating our own. 4, let's make that plate very busy with polyphenols, rich greens like spinach, arugula, bok choy, asparagus. Volume your meals with this. As you see, you are not restricting. You are essentially bullying the foods that raise your cortisol with foods that lower it. 5th, let's support your gut with fermented foods and chia seeds. Fermented food feeds good gut bacteria, and chia seeds nourish them. Your gut and your cortisol are constantly talking. When your gut is supported, those cortisol levels drop. And when your cortisol levels drop, your visceral fat cells stop receiving the signal to hold on to fat. Number 6, let's eat our last meal at least 3 hours before going to bed. When you anchor your meals, your hunger start working with you instead of against you. Love, the thing I want you to hear about all of this is that after a couple of weeks of women eating this way, they tell me, Selene, I feel more energized. I'm not bloated. I feel lighter and I'm eating more than ever. This feels effortless. This feels easy because this is not a diet. This is us giving your body exactly what it needs. So if this video connected some dots and you're like, wait, that makes sense, just book your free weight loss audit with me. The link is in the description. Now, I have to be honest with you about one thing. I don't work with every woman who applies because not every woman is the right fit. But even if that is you, I promise you, you will leave that call with answers and a clear direction. You will live with value. I will look at the full picture with you. Your cortisol patterns, your food, your sleep, your stress, and we will find exactly where your body is getting stuck. And if this video was helpful, we all have that friend and we are always talking about the new diet, the new workout, which supplement, what are you doing? Just send it to her. That way we help more women like you and I see you in the next one.